YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the creative process as it pertains to creating the life that you desire for yourself in the long term. So oftentimes when people think about creating the life that they want, they're too busy focused on problem solving and the issues that they have going on in their daily lives and how they solve them. I made that video about that yesterday. Go check that out if you haven't already. Today I want to talk about the long-term process. So we've already established that you don't want to think about your life in terms of problem solving and getting rid of whatever anxiety you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. But if you're not going to approach life in that manner, then you might be asking yourself, how do I approach life? And the answer to that question is pretty simple. Sit with yourself in a meditative space, in a quiet room, and really ask yourself, what do I want out of my life? And let's say you struggle with that. I guarantee you, if you went on some of these morning meditations that I do, where I go out on a walk, and if you could just afford yourself 10 to 15 minutes, you start asking yourself, you might find common themes throughout your life that really resonate with you. Places that you might want to be, places that you might want to go, people that you might want to meet, the type of community that you might be love to be surrounded by, the type of job you might want to work, you know, what you're better at, what are your skills, what are the things that you've tried out with your life that really resonate with you. And as you begin to have these more introspective questions and ask yourself less about who you are and more about what you like to do, then you start to find answers towards your creative process. And the creative process here as it relates to your life goal, which, as we know, if you've ever read Jung, if you've ever read a lot of self-development type work, especially in the realms of psychology, Maslow with the hierarchy of needs, we all understand the basis of somebody basing their life off of this long-term vision, off of this thing that they would like to accomplish to self-actualize themselves, or as it is known in psychoanalysis, individuation. And if you have a really good idea of the type of environment you want to create for yourself, then it is no concern of you whether or not you actually know that thing in particular, whether it is you were going to become something, but that you know the sphere or the environment that will be conducive to what you're trying to create. So all you really need to do is meditate on this, figure out and outline some things for yourself about what you want in your life and what elements it is that you really envision yourself being in. And now, once you have that, be honest with yourself about your current reality and where that stands in nature to that ideal, objective place that you would really desire to go. And you basically, all you really need to do is this. You grab a piece of paper and you sort of draw a line in the middle. In the bottom, you write down all the details about your current reality. Okay, so let's say you work at Wendy's, you're flipping these burgers, you got a Toyota Corolla from 15 years ago, it's breaking down, you know, you can't afford your cat's like rabies shots, you know, you write all these crummy little details down if it's a bad life. If it's a mediocre life, you write all your mediocre details. If it's some great and wondrous life, you write your great and wondrous details. It doesn't really matter. Whatever the details, the objective details of where you are in life, you write that down. And on the top portion of the paper, you write down all your fantasies. And be free to be as imaginative as possible. As long as you're being realistic with yourself about what it is that you desire and what it is that you really see yourself being in. And ask yourself questions like, hey, what does my ideal place look like? What does it feel like? You know, what sort of community do I want? Is family in the picture? Are kids in the picture? If you're younger than that, you know, what sort of physical activities would I like to be involved in? You know, I think as you start to like identify like, these are the things that I like to do with my life. You know, like I'm really passionate about this. I'm really passionate about that. Then the ideal environment that you see yourself in is going to be people and places that have that energy. And so once you identify like, hey, all these things are true about me, it becomes a lot easier to find that place. And so this is what I would highly recommend to any of you guys thinking about moving, thinking about getting a job, thinking about where my life is headed in the long term. These are not short-term goals. This is not where you start. Short-term goals are things that are accomplishable perhaps within a year or even less, right? They're things that you can use to gain momentum and energy in your life, but they're not the things that you're looking at when you're thinking about your life as a narrative arc or a creative process. So this is exactly why I made that video about not problem solving your life, because how would you ever lead your life in this sort of manner if the way you orient to life is always through solving problems? You just won't do it. So I highly recommend anybody who has not given this a shot and not put any effort in towards thinking of their long-term goals, that they really start thinking about the creative process in this manner. And let me know in the comment section below, have you given something like this a shot? What are your long-term goals? How do you see yourself getting there? And hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming to you guys with some new content pretty soon. Talk to you guys next time.